Good morning and welcome to the VSA Morning Miner. It's Monday, the 10th of November. I'm joined by Paul Rankin. Paul, how are you today?
A very good morning. Good morning.
Excellent. Well, precious metals got a bit of a bounce this morning. Gold is back over 4,000, about $4,080 an ounce at the moment. It's up 2%. And silver has bounced with it now, close to retesting 50 at 49.88. That's up about 3.3% this morning. So looking like it will seriously retest $50 an ounce today. In terms of news flow, more sort of macro related news, but more issues at Freeport, Indonesia.
Yes, that's right. They have completed the investigation of that mud flow into the underground block cave that killed 7 workers there several weeks ago. And that was about 800,000 tons of material that flowed down into the block cave. Uh, They said that the big Gossan mine and deep mill level zone mines at Grasberg have restarted from the end of October as they were unaffected by the mud flow, and that they expect a restart and a wrap up now of the Grasberg block cave sometime in this next year, although they weren't more specific about that. So I think the sooner they can put a formal time on that restart, the better the market will feel about it.
Yeah, that's obviously had a significant impact on the copper price as well, which has been trending upwards just above $5 a pound or $11,000 a ton this morning. In smaller company news, let's start with Q3 from Caledonia, Paul.
Yes, that's right. Caledonia Mining Q3 results put out by them. One of the primary points is the big boost in revenues and therefore profit after tax. Revenues had jumped here by 52% from the blanket mine, as well as a little bit of a contribution from their Bilbo's oxide residual leach there, both of which are in Zimbabwe. And revenue up 52% to US $71.4 million, and compared to the third quarter of last year, so that's a year-on-year comparison. Profit after tax year-on-year rose to $18.7 million for not quite a 500% increase. On mine costs came in at $1,228 an ounce, and all in sustaining costs at US $1,937 an ounce. So total free cash flow was up by almost $6 million compared to a negative number of 2.5 from a year ago. So it's a significant improvement there on the cash flows, and most all of it is driven by the change in the gold price and therefore the margin per ounce that they produce.
Yeah, seems a little bit disappointing that free cash flows are only $6 million on earnings like that at the moment, it's particularly with a market cap which is now about $500 million US. The stock's up 99% over the last year, and you would expect it to underperform a bit, being in Zimbabwe and having fewer investors that can participate, but that's quite a multiple on fairly limited free cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
Drilling results out from Strategic Minerals.
Yes, this is an enhancement on the drilling info that they had put out earlier from drill hole there on their Redmore project there in Cornwall. The enhancement on drill hole 33 is providing high-grade tin intersections, which includes 2 meters at 1% tin at 232 meters depth as well, which it makes inclusive of the tungsten and copper that's in this intervals in this hole up to about 4% tungsten equivalent in one interval and 1.25% tungsten equivalent in another interval, and the third interval not quite 1%. But the key point is that these intervals are demonstrating that this will, in all likelihood, produce uh, these three metals as part of its feasibility work that will ultimately be prepared.
Obviously, Strategic Minerals share price now top performer, and one that hasn't moved yet in Cornwall is Tamar Resources, although they have yet to start drilling, so that's something to watch out for.
Yes, that's right.
Anything else, Paul?
That's all for me today.
All right, thanks very much.
Mm-hmm.
Speak tomorrow.
All right.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.